Hi guys, I'm Scratch and today I'm going to show you the start of my rocket fuel plant. Now I haven't got very far, all I've done so far really is lay out some of the framework of where I'm going to put some of the builds and built what I'm calling my oil pump houses, which contain, I always forget the name of these, what are they called? They're not oil wells, are they? Oil extractors. They contain my oil extractors. I've got 3 of them and they're all housed in these buildings with slightly different designs on them, but I'll take you through these and some other blueprints I've got, and you'll be able to download all of those from my Discord, which is in the link in the description. So let's get started. Yeah, this is basically the main design of the oil wells. I'm going for a very kind of post, I always got pre and post mixed up, but post-war kind of factory aesthetic. Trying to use some nice lighting, trying to use the landscape to dictate where the build goes. But yeah, this is one whole blueprint. I'll show you. There you go. That, apart from the piping, is a single blueprint. And then this section up here is their also blueprints, which I'll show you how to put together afterwards. But yeah, I wanted to try and see if I could fit almost a whole building, and then I can make custom versions of it. Yeah, and it's designed with the idea of basically it's built around I don't know what you call them. Are they called oil pumps or wells in real life? I'm sure you recognise this kind of thing, with a building on the side of it and the oil well coming down. I want it to look super industrial. I don't want to hide anything away. You can see from all the wiring and stuff, I'm trying to make a real feature of the power and the logistics and all that kind of stuff. First, I got this nice arch with the curved sections coming out of here. If you want to know how to do an arch like that, I'll link to my tutorial video up in the top corner to show you how to do that. But yeah, basically, there's not much going on inside. There's a little bit of detail. There's the oil pump itself. It's quite dark in some of these bits, but I've designed these nice lights which I like the look of. It's meant to look like those kind of that you see in factories where they have the kind of little bit of grating over the top. These are a blueprint as well. You can't see it because it's part of the main blueprint, but these, I've got blueprints of these. Unfortunately, this section here, I did this tip in my signs video, and as you can see, I am in experimental, but I built this before experimental 1.1 come out, and you can't do this anymore. So if you see, you can't sample these posts anymore like you used to be able to, so you can't do this. Now it's in the blueprint. If you download it, it should still work in here, but you try and use this blueprint by itself and it doesn't work. I've made it an updated version of it, but yeah, it's kind of going to be these little industrial looking lights with the kind of shades on the side and the metal grilling underneath the thing. So I was quite happy with how they turned out. I was quite annoyed that I had to change those little bits. This is the ground floor. We do have a way to get to the top. Up here, you've got a second floor, but there's not really much on it, to be honest. And we go all the way up to the top out here. And then at the very top, we have the control room. You've got some little storage there. You've got some little pressure level, just little control sections. I might change these up a bit. I might not. Not really great with these signs. And then yeah, you've got the main thing. Now the idea with this pump house, it does have, it's not just kind of form over function, if you know what I mean. It's not just aesthetics. The idea is that the oil does get pumped all the way up to this container here, this fluid buffer. And then when I take it down, I won't need any more pumps if I want to bring it up higher or lower, which I do over there. Or I'm not at the moment. I've progressed a little bit more with this save than I'm showing you right now, which will be in future videos. So yeah, if I need to take it higher, I can take it this high without needing any more pumps. So with that one pump, I can do the whole line. Yeah, so it does have some function, rather than just looking nice. But yeah, again, I was quite happy with how this section turned out. And then this bit I was really chuffed with. Now, with 1.1 coming out, I have replaced these with the beam cables. But the way it's set up anyway with the blueprint, you have to put these in because this is one section, that's another section. So I can't really include these lines in the blueprint anyway. So when you get it, you'll need to add them in. But I now have changed them to the new cables that we got in 1.1. Which I don't think I've unlocked in this one yet. No, I haven't unlocked in the save yet. So yeah, I have updated those to the new cable blueprints from 1.1. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, and like I say, this front pickaxe bit is 2 segments, and then they've got an extension piece here, the arm balance swing section, I guess, here. Then you've got a rear section, and you've got the, I don't know what the technical term for this bit is. You see it on loads of oil pumps. But yeah, I've tried to go super detailed, and this is the great thing about using blueprints, is you can afford to do loads of crazy little details like this, like the pivot point here, which is like a hypertube wall hole, and then a bunch of power outlets, some more power outlets here as a securing piece. I can't remember if I've changed, I might have changed this up a bit in the actual blueprint, because of the new pieces we got with 1.1, I might have done some upgrades. And again, these little connector pieces here, and these here as like connections to the actual arm itself. Yeah, this is what blueprints allows you to do. Allows you to add loads of details with loads of time, and then you can, you know, produce lots of this, the same thing. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? You can reproduce that design again and again, because you can put that time into the one design, and it's not like you're going to have to replicate it 3 times now. I can reuse that as many times as I want and make alterations to it. Which I'm going to show you that process in the next video in this series. Again, I was really happy with this central section. The kind of pivot point here in the middle, making that look kind of a bit more realistic with these pieces in here. I thought it looked really nice, and the lighting. I was really happy with how this turned out. And again, fairly simple on this front bit. I'll show you how these come together at the end of the video. You can piece this together, but with 1.1 and vertical nudge, this is way easier than it was when I first put these together, because I built this before 1.1, as you can tell. And then the next blueprint section I guess I'm going to show you is these power poles. So I wanted to really make a feature of the power in this save. It takes a while to load. So it's got some lighting built into it. Yeah, it has multiple cables, which you don't necessarily need, but it just fits the look. We've got using conveyor poles as little kind of, you know, you see the kind of little steps that go up the side of a telegraph pole, power pole, like this. I really like this as well. One side obviously the light, and then this ends up looking like the transformer that you see on the power poles. I thought that looked quite cool. And then the base, I was super happy with this lamp. Again, this, you won't be, oh, you will actually, sorry, because these are actually the back of signs. I did a sign video recently, which again, 1.1 has made kind of parts of it redundant, but I'll remake it at some point. But these are the back of signs, basically. And all I've done is taken this, like that, deleted, because if you don't know, you can delete that stand, and then I've taken, oh, it's not going to let me do this anymore. If I delete this, 2 meter, I've put it in the same position, but then extended it up. You can see you get this cool through bar. I thought it looked quite like, I'm going to use it a lot more, it looked quite like a kind of, it's being secured in there, it's being held in there by something. You've got 2 more of them at the bottom, again, and it just ended up looking really nice. I think for some reason it's gone, yeah, I think I might have done the sign trick on that one again to get the fatter version of it, yeah, where I middle mouse button to copy paste just the thing, just the support, which unfortunately in 1.1 you can't do anymore. See if I'll, oh well. So yeah, it looks a bit nicer with the fat one, but you know, it still looks quite good with that. Again, in my sign video, I was talking about using the backs of signs, and this is a great example of it. And inside here, you can see it's just a few beams like that. But yeah, I was quite happy with how these turned out. This center section is obviously done with painted beams, done in a round circle, and I've tried to paint them kind of slightly different shades of brown, just to give it that kind of, you know, woody variation, so it didn't look as kind of what's the right word, kind of boring and monotone, so it looks a little bit more interesting like that. I mean, obviously now in 1.1 we do have the rounded beams, but they're not quite this fat, and you can't paint them. Please, Coffee Stain, let us paint those round new beams. They would be so useful if they were round. Yeah, I'll include this on my server as a telephone power pole thing, so you can download that if you want. Round the back here, this is slightly different with this one. We've got these pier pieces going, and boardwalk sections. You'll see them later when I show you the section over there, but they've got them all around here, and this is also a blueprint. Oh, hang on. Is it not letting me? Why is it not letting me do that? I'll show you in here. I'm actually trying to organise my blueprints now, you can see as well. Boardwalk main, there you go. So this is a blueprint as well. And all I do is put something along it, that you can see, you can just snap them next to each other, and obviously it wouldn't have them flying like that. And that's how, you know, we can get this nice boardwalk section. We'll see more of these later, but these are pretty simple construction. Obviously they're just lots of beams, and then I, you know, sometimes do some little custom bits just to make them fit. Yeah, I was super happy with this, obviously how it connects up. Looks really nice, this kind of pull. I know, I'm pretty sure how, well, I don't 100% know the physics of how these things work, but I think obviously this here pulls this down, which pumps oil up from the well, which would normally be at that end. I think these things spin all the way around. I don't know, I've never seen one working, so I did leave the gap in the centre here so they could do that. But I do realise that because this side is slightly longer than this side, these bits, if they went all the way around and up here, would probably smash into the building. I do realise that, but it doesn't spin all the way around, even if they do that in real life. But yeah, I mean, you'll see another example where if this thing lifted up fully over there, then it would smash into the top of the roof, but there's a video game. Okay, and I just want to show you these arches in here. So this, you can see, is just the normal window. You'd think this one's across, but you can't quite fit them next to each other if you do this. So it's two windows like that. If I just take off some of this, you'll see what I've done. It's just these little segments here. It's quite easy. All you need is the diagonal mode. If I just get rid of this, it's a blueprint. I can always put it back. So go from here to there. That's right, isn't it? So why wasn't I did this? So please forgive me. That. And then we want to go from here to. We sometimes get. But yeah, so slightly different arch, but and then covering it up with that to get the nice arch shape. I almost prefer that one actually. It is unfortunate, you can see if you look really close, this isn't centered. You could probably faff around to get it completely centered, but I just didn't want to spend the time on it. You know, you've got to pick and choose your battles really with this game, of how much detail you want to add. And yeah, the rest of this is I'm trying to I'm going to do a full layout where I go through and place every building I need. I think is my next step, not after this, but after the next building that I'll show you. But I'm trying to let the landscape dictate where I put things, So I'm going to build around here. And obviously I've got some stairs that go up to the top here. And I'll carry on around and probably join it back down with there at some point. We've got a bridge going around here, which I think looks quite cool. None of these pipes are functional, they're all just for the style. But again, I'm trying to build on multiple levels and use the kind of canyon as my inspiration. And this is going to go up and round to another section up here, which I think will go up and round. I haven't finished it yet, but my plastic recycling will go up over there. So that'll eventually lead back to this. Jump all the way down here. Now this is a variation of that other build. It's just a thin version of it, so I just cut one side off. You can see it's a lot thinner. If I go back to the old one, this has two sides. That one just has the one, and it has the pipes coming over the side. So I did a bit of variation. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. This is another blueprint, which is like it's supposed to be like a building transform, like a transform you might see sticking out the side of a building that would take the power and I don't know, do something with it. But again, it's just a like pipeline floor hole with some beam connectors and some sign backs on it and these things. I mean, the wires clip a bit, but you know, it's a little bit of clipping between friends. And again, I really want this to look industrial and kind of not super neat and tidy, like, you know, like it's neat and tidy in a way, but it's like been built up over time, and it's a bit messy and stuff. Or I also quite like, sorry, I'm jumping around here. Been a while since I made a video, apologies. How these conveyor wall mounts with these, just some really simple looking angled lights. If you don't know how to angle them like that, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is take a beam and it will actually stick. If I grab one, it will, you see, it will actually angle. You have to get it right, but it will angle to the beam, so I have to get that the right way. It takes a bit of finagling because obviously it will only clip to two sides. I think, have I done that the right way this time? Yeah. You see, so you can get them going to the angle you want. You could use that to use clocks or whatever, but it's an interesting little building tip, especially to do that. I've done a similar thing up here with these ones. You can see here I've done a slightly different arch with those as well. Yeah, so going back to this one, it's exactly the same as that build over there. I just chopped the side of it off because I had slightly less room on here for this oil well. But again, I think it's nice just to vary them up. Like that one's slightly different because it's got the boardwalks around it. This one's slightly thinner. And again, you see this is what I was talking about with the boardwalks coming around here. And I built these lamp blueprints. So they, it won't let me take them. Hang on a sec. It's because I built them before 1.1, I reckon. So you got boardwalk lamps. So they're pretty easy. They just snap in. Now, actually, these were quite difficult to place, but with 1.1, I can H to hold, and then if I press Control, I can vertical nudge these into place now. So actually I might replace some of these because some of them are not quite the right height. 1.1 has really revolutionised this game. But yeah, again, they're just a silver beam. I've shown how to do this technique on a different video, on my sign lighting video. So if you want to see how to get kind of rounded lights like this, check out that video. I'll link it in the top card right now. But all I've done is just keep the beams on the inside that you use to place these lights, so it gives it this kind of, I don't know, kind of frame, I guess, in between, and makes it look slightly different, slightly cool. A lot of this is kind of might change, like these pipe positions I will definitely, I mean, I want them to kind of be a bit messy, but this is a bit low here. I need to design a proper, I already have designed a proper support, it's just not in this version of the save, to support these pipes a little bit better. The positions of them coming in look a little bit neater than they are right now. But I do want to keep it a little bit ramshackle, a little bit kind of messy, just because, and yeah, things like that with these lights are all up for changing. I just wanted to get some lighting in so you guys could see it properly on the video. But yeah, there's not really much else to talk about this. It's exactly the same as the other one. Like I said, I just chopped the side of it off, and then we come over here to this island, and you can see I've got a lot more boardwalks because it's more of an island, and we've got the last oil well here. In my next video, or it might not be the next video I make, but the next video on this save, I will go through some of the numbers, because really the numbers are a bit pointless. I'm just taking the max out of each of the oil patches, oil nodes, there you go, that's the right word, that I can at the moment at least. So when I build the next one, it will be the heavy oil residue section, and I've already built it, pretty much finished it. It's in this section here, and I'm going to do a lot more of a build along with that. I've been like kind of writing down my thoughts, and I'll show you the process a lot more in depth. You won't just see a finished build, you'll see hopefully each of the steps I go through to get to that build, and again how I use blueprints like this and how I change them over time and use a versioning system to make them. But yeah, it's exactly the same as that one over there actually. It's just on the ground rather than over there. This here is for a little detail I want to add in. Thinking of adding like obviously it won't move, but like a water wheel here that might look like it's powered, it's getting some power, it's doing something. Anyway, but I thought it'd be a nice detail, and you can really see where I've put the boardwalks over this side. This is where I'm probably going to get all my water from. Like I said, plastic recycling is going to be up there because heavy oil residue is going to be down here, and then the polymer resin will go up here to get recycled into plastic and rubber. The train station is going to be over here, but it is a little bit of a mess at the moment. It's even more of a mess in my current version of this save, because it's just where I've got my kind of hub and storage and a couple of blueprinters to make all these blueprints. The other blueprint you'll get is this one. It's I can't use it, but this stairs blueprint again. Was awkward place, but now with 1.1 you can kind of nudge it in, and it works really well. Yeah, so that's kind of most of this. The only thing that's left to do really is wait for daytime and show you how this blueprint works over here. So I'm going to wait until we get to day, and I'm going to show you that blueprint process. Actually, while we wait for it to become day, I'm just going to show you a few little kind of scene setting details that I've added into the save, and what I'm going to continue to add. It's bits like these pallet crates here and this pack storage. These I built for my 1.0 save, or no, I didn't. This is my 1.0 save. Sorry, my pre 1.0 save. They were in my aluminium plant, and they're just some little pallet crates I made out of signs. I might redesign them at some point, but I'm going to add a lot of this kind of scene setting stuff in. And one little bit that I've already done, I think it's in this save. Oh yeah, it's cool. It's back here. I want to add loads of little secret bits like this here. You got little kind of cordoned off area you can sneak through. Got some pallet crates, some oil hanging around. So this really looks like a kind of storage area. I'm thinking of putting like maybe we'll have a little crane in here or up this section that will suggest how these things kind of got in here. You've also got like a little smoking area down here for where the workers would come. Little seats, storage bit, little table. If I could, I'd put some playing cards on here and stuff. You know what I mean? And just yeah, I'm gonna add lots of little nooks and crannies and story elements and stuff like that, just to make the build a little more interesting. Because obviously, working on a bigger build, it can be nice to just break off sometimes and do these little segments. I really like the idea that the guys have just, you know, set this up. They've used a couple of like little, power connectors or whatever. Yeah, that's what Got a plank of wood, stuck it on the top of the crates, and this is where they come and have a cigarette, a smoke, and a chat, a game of cards, maybe a few cheeky beers after work, you know, without Fix-It looking over their shoulders. So yeah, definitely expect a lot more of this storytelling stuff in this save. Anyway, on to showing you how the oil pump house blueprints fit together. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to quickly put together one of the oil pump houses if you want to do it in your save. I've actually had to delete that one over there just so I could get the resources, but I have actually labelled them nicely so you can see pump house, they're all put together, so hopefully this is what they should look like in your game as well. So obviously you've got pump house thin, whichever variant you want to use is up to you, whatever you've got space for. Well, I'll just show you the default. Obviously you position it over your oil well, the oil node, sorry, and then just click this one in. So that's the first one, that's pretty easy to do. Obviously then it doesn't have the oil extractor in it. You'll have to put the oil extractor in place, and the easiest way I find of doing that, if I quickly show you, to line this up properly, let me just delete this quickly so I can show you how you put that in place properly, is I get the oil well in place. So let's get the, not oil well, I keep calling it an oil well, an oil extractor. So we get that in how you want it. Then we take our road barrier here, where are we? 0. And if you hold control, you can actually snap it to the front here, like that. And you can then, you see how I've done here, you can lay down the foundations to line up with your oil platform. And then all you need to do is take the blueprint, oil pump house, put it on here like that. Obviously this is a lot easier, and we'll make sure it's the right way around because we now have infinite nudge. So I can now come in here and then I can just nudge like that. See, if I get the foundations nice and lined up, I can just use the nudge, so I make sure my rotation is right with the foundations that I've used off this road barrier. And you can see this is nice and lined up, and you'd click it into place like that. I'm just going to put it back over here, just so we're in the light. It's a little bit dark over there. I'll show you how to connect up the kind of oil pump arm on the top. So the first thing you want to use is the oil pump arm. This goes up here. It doesn't have a direction, so it doesn't really matter which way around you put it. And I just position it in the center. I'm just going to put H, use H just to make sure we're centered, which we're not. So I'm just going to nudge over by 1. And that looks nice and centered. Click that into place. Now you need to get there's the extension that goes on the back here, so that's just called oil pump extension. If you use blueprint mode, you can snap it, and then it's going to have this gap on it. Again, trust it for a nudge. Hit H and just nudge it into place like that. Perfectly positioned. And then with the front, what you want first, you could add more if you wanted on this section. We've got pump extension F, which is just an extension that's just a single section. Oh, I lost it. There we go. So again, blueprint mode, click it in place, H, nudge like that, so it lines up. I've just put 1 so that the point clears the front of the building, but if you wanted it longer, you could keep extending it out. Same with the back, up to you really. And then we take the next, which is oil pointer part 1, which is the center section. And again, it's just line it up with the blueprint mode, H, nudge it into place, click, like that. See, I designed this before we had vertical nudge, so it all snapped together quite nicely. In this one even, you don't even need to nudge it at all. Just click it straight into place. And like I said before, these are not installed because they go between 2 blueprints, so I couldn't really install them. But I have now unlocked the cable beam type, where it is. So I have done some modifications in the blueprint, so I think on the more up-to-date blueprints, these bits won't be here. You'll have something else. I can't remember how. I think I just connected it straight in. It will look slightly different. So you connect that straight down to here. If you put freeform, it's a bit tricky to be honest. So we just connect that in there. This one into here. You see that looks pretty cool. Like that. So yeah, add as many of those in as you want. You know, to add some flair and detail. And then on the back here, all you need to do is add, where are we? Oil arm puller. This, and then H again, nudge it out until it lines up with this last one here. I left this gap again because this was before we had vertical nudge. So I might go and change the blueprint, I probably won't. So that lines up with that, because you can see now I have to add in just one of these here to connect it into place. Like that. And if you do that, you should be hitting the ground, lining up with the back of the building, no problem. Yeah, it clips in slightly. You could either leave it like that if you wanted, or you could, I've done it like this, so overlap it slightly, get that. So with vertical nudge, I could probably change how that works, but I don't need it for now. And again, yeah, oh look, because I've unlocked it, it's updated to the new version of the blueprint where I've added these in. Here you can see, I've updated it to that. I just haven't updated the blueprint for those yet. So you can see I've slightly changed up this section, not by much, but I've added in these nice thick cables. So this is the version of the blueprint you'll get. And yeah, that is it. I thought I'd show you how to put together this blueprint because obviously it's a large multi-part blueprint. If I had unlocked the Mark III blueprinter, it might fit in the Mark III blueprinter if you want to build it in there and make one blueprint. I haven't got that unlocked yet. Not sure it would still be big enough to fit this in. I can't remember how big it is off the top of my head. But if you want to try, be my guest, and you can maybe have just this one-click building. But it does show that you can really create some really complicated builds and have them, you know, at your fingertips whenever you want to use them. Again, one thing also to note is just this. This pipe. I've just stuck it going up. It doesn't need to be a Mark 6. In fact, neither does that. It needs not Mark 6, sorry, Mark 2 pipe. Only needs to be for these oil pumps. It only needs to be Mark 1. But I thought I'd design this so you could use it wherever you wanted. So if there's more, if there is a pure oil node, there's none here. So it's pointless. But yeah, this is how far I've got so far. So the next stage is, like I said, is I've already done it. So the next video in this series, I've got some other videos planned as well, more tips videos. We'll be adding in the heavy oil residue here, and I'll take you through some of the numbers of what this fuel plant is going to produce. I'm going to do that video a lot more, so it's kind of, you see me building it rather than me just showing you, here's the finished product. Hopefully that'll be nice, it'll be good, so you can see the process of how I design these things, how I make the decisions, and I can talk you through that a lot more easily than just this overview. But I kind of needed this first episode, because otherwise, you know, I would have shown you these builds here. And then the next episode in this series will be continuing just laying everything out. I think I've learned some lessons from watching some other content creators, not satisfactory ones, like Minecraft actually, and how they tend to lay out their builds all the way through. So I'm going to go through this and lay out all the platforms, lay out all my machines, not doing any logistics, just to get an idea of where I want to put everything. So I think that'll be the third in this series, and then yeah, we'll go from there. But hopefully you've enjoyed this waffly tour, and hopefully maybe you've learned something from it. Like I said, if you want the blueprints that I've shown you here, like the power pole and this pump house and the what else did I show you? The boardwalk and the lamps. Join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. If you have enjoyed the video for some weird reason, subscribe and drop me a like and drop me a comment of what could you comment? I don't know, wherever you feel like. It's late. I apologise. If you got this far, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I've been Scratch, and I'll see you in the next video.